Okay, we will arrange separate class for them, and we will explain them in detail how what is HTML basically, how we define how we start coding on it, and how we define any styling, and what is the tag, and each and everything from the basic till today's class. We will cover each and everything. So you if you wanted to join now, so you can, you will have same level as we have other students. Okay, now let me share my screen again. Hold on. Share. Okay. Okay, so I was explaining about the advantages of CSS. Okay, CSS was reusable. We already understand how it is reusable here. uh, okay, next point is change style sheet to change design of many pages. So it we can uh, you can do it, in that way. Abdur Rahman wanted to ask one question. Let me unmute him.
Someone asked the question, what's the difference between HTML and CSS?
Okay,
Okay,
what
what
is the
is the
difference
difference?
between HTML and CSS? HTML is the content which you are, writing on your website. Let me share you my screen again for the website. You share. I'll take you to that web page again. Hold on. Okay, can you see my screen now? This is the web page. Can you see? Okay, so the content, the HTML, basically, HTML is something which you are defining within your website, where it, what is the content, how it, how it writes, how how you position it, how, which is picture you need to put in, what is the style, what is the color pattern, so this kind of things you can define in your HTML. In HTML, you define your menu. For example, this is your menu. How you define this one? You can, now once you wanted to apply any theme, for example, any color scheme, any different kind of pattern, any different kind of font color. For example, there are thousand fonts of color fonts styling is available under the Google. So you can pick up those font style and apply in your website. So it's in order to standardize your website, you have to adopt CSS. So in HTML, basically you are doing coding. Pure coding will be done through HTML, and styling and color theme and your standardization should be done through CSS. Hope it clarify for you. Okay. Yes, exactly. Themes, color, fonts for the content, it will cover under CSS, and whatever is your designing related thing, it will cover under HTML. Okay. Okay. Now I will go to the next part. Example, I already show you one example how you can see your CSS and styling and HTML coding and other thing. Another advantage of CSS, it is easier to maintain. Means you can easily cleaner your HTML code. For example, if there is any garbage data you have put in, you have key in, you have defined. So you can, it's will easily determine you where you goes wrong. Okay. uh, you can separately style from HTML tags and page content. For example, uh, you wanted to make your home page as green theme, okay, but you wanted to make your services page as orange theme, okay. So you can easily determine and classify your different pages with different style. For example, if you wanted to standardize with one theme for your whole web page, or you wanted to make a different style on your different web pages, okay, so you can easily control through the CSS. Okay. Now, consistent look across an entire website that is easily maintained by changing style in one place. Okay, so you, as I said, in a matter of second, you can easily change any kind of your style, any theme, any color pattern, or anything. So it's easier for you to control through one simple line of code. Okay, if there is advantages, there must be some disadvantages as well. For example, in CSS we have a few disadvantages, like uh, not uniformly supported by all browser. Means there are some browser like if you talking about Internet Explorer, there are many components on the CSS, from the CSS, which is not applicable on Internet Explorer or maybe Opera. So but we are using Firefox or Google Chrome, and which will be, the CSS is easily adaptable on our Google and Firefox in both the browsers. Okay. Now, how you adding CSS styling, it's easy to adopt a CSS style in adding style actually. CSS allow you to add style directly to your HTML web page element. For example, if you wanted to define any color, font size, positioning, or any kind of information, you can easily define within the page. Okay. And if you wanted to make standardize, so you can easily create a separate CSS file, and that CSS file can be easily applicable on your whole web page. There are two aspects of to adding a style to a web page via CSS. Number one, specifying what the style look like, called this is called a declaration actually. So once you define any kind of a style on your CSS, it is called uncover under declaration, naming the HTML or XML. XML also we will explore further what is XML exactly. Element which will style applies, refer to a specific to the selector. So you can easily uh, uh, define any component which we called as a selector. We will cover in our next slide. You can easily select that style to specifically defined tag. Okay, okay, let me explain you this part. Yes, for example, this is our complete declaration. Okay, what is the declaration? We declare a font size. Okay, font size should be 10 pixel. Background color should be this one. The color of font should be this one, and margin of font of 20 pixel, for example. See, the above CSS declaration takes an HTML element and add in a background color. So a margin and changes in the element and font size color, you can easily define under your declaration portion. Now, how we specify, how we implement this declaration portion? This is my question. because we already learn how we define this declaration portion in any of our web page. So can we have any answer from any of our student how we define this uh, style in this declaration portion in any web page? Avantika, can you explain this part?
I don't really understand.
Okay. Abdurrahman, can you explain this one?
Should I say the answer?
Yeah, please, please.
Uh, so the answer is going to be like, now this is CSS, right? But for HTML, we used to link it. Remember when we used to, when I taught you styles, and we used to link it with other tag. So the answer is body. Like,
Yes.
yes.
So
Body.
you can easily explain uh, under body. Let me answer this question. For example, this is your tag. This is your tag. This is your definition. This is your declarative portion. Okay. You declare that what should be the font size, what should be background color, what should be color, what should be margin. But you already declare, but you did not declare where this declaration should applicable. This declaration should be applicable on your body part. Maybe on, instead of body, I can easily say on my heading, on my paragraph, on my title, for example. So I can easily describe this part, this tag part over here. You understand? Okay. Avantika, you understand now?
Yes.
Okay, great. What about Ali, Zobia? Can you please give me your feedback? Okay, great. Okay, now I will move on to the next slide. Okay. Very good, Ali. Very good, Zubia. Very good, Abdurrahman. So I have received all the answer from your side. Okay. Now we have we learn the most basic kind of CSS selector. Okay. The simple type of selector, for example, as I explained, we can easily define body, start curly bracket and curly bracket, paragraph start with curly bracket and with curly bracket, strong again. Whenever we define any CSS style, we have to define where we wanted to apply, number one. Number two, we have started with curly bracket and end up with curly bracket. Okay. Within the curly bracket, we will specify our styling. Like we have explained it here. Okay. What will be the font size? What will be the black background color? What will be the color? So these all the things which we need to apply, we will apply within the curly bracket. Okay. Now, see, these selectors are commonly used in any website. If you will go and visit any website, these stylings are commonly used in any web page. I will explain you how we use this styling in any of our web page. uh, Let me share you my screen again for. Okay, everyone see my screen? Okay. see, if I will go and view the web page source, okay, so you, by the way, you can also do the same thing. So for say, if you will go, you see the styling is available here. What kind of styling we apply here? We apply here as, if I'll increase the screen size, we apply text slash css. Under text css, we define this kind of styling. You see, styling is started from curly bracket and with curly bracket. So whenever we'll see any curly bracket on any web page, so it means these are the styling actually. Okay, so we can play around with any web page. So whenever we, and usually this styling are defining on top of every page. So there are so many other components within this web page as well. So uh, initially they have applied this component on your web styling. Okay. Okay, now there is another component which we called wildcard. See, wildcard start with static. Usually you guys are when we use multiplication sign, we use static, but in computer programming world, we call this as wildcard. Wildcard we use when we wanted to apply the same color scheme, the same font style, the same things for each and every component of our website. I'm repeating again. For example, if I wanted to apply the same color theme, same font style, same thing, each and everything, I don't want it to apply this on body. I don't want it to apply for paragraph. I don't want it to apply for bold, italic, strong, or anything. I want it to apply this scheme for all of our web page, all of our website. So we will use wildcard. We will do the practical for that one as well. So but in order to understand, for example, if I wanted to put uh, uh, Arial font size will be 8, and the color of font will be black, but background color will be green. So I can apply all this component under this one tag, one curly braces, and I can easily apply this font style to any of our web page. Okay. See, there are group selector as well. For example, I wanted to make a group of heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4, heading 4, 5, 6. I have created this as a group of selector. Okay, these are my groups: heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4, heading 5, heading 6. I want to apply all heading with the standard color, with the same font family, with the same same color font size. Each and everything should be remain same. So I can create a group of selector as well. For example, if I wanted to apply the same thing on, I say for h1, you can apply this. Instead of this one, you can apply this. Font family should be Arial. Okay, and here I want only start from h2, h3, h4, h5, h6. These headings should pick up this colors, this theme, and only h1 should pick up this theme. Okay, so we can easily differentiate between within the group. I can easily define over here, for example, h2, h3, and I can remove h2, h3 from here. So I can make 2 or 3 groups. So we can easily create group of selector as well. Okay, we can easily, there are flexibility in selector. The usefulness of selector relates to how much specificity you have in selecting different part of your web page. simple example, your personal web page. For example, you we have given you one assignment to create your personal portfolio website, where you have defined about yourself. What is your name, and what is your hobby, in which class you are studying, what is your biography. In next assignment, we ask you to, okay, please add up one more a page on it, where you can define what is your favorite sports, and in favorite sports, who is your favorite player, and what is the classification on that, specification on that sports. So you can define that thing. And alhamdulillah, you guys have submitted your assignment, and specify which is your favorite sports. Okay, now you can easily see the flexibility. We can easily create a paragraph. Under paragraph, we have defined the font size, font color, this color name, what is the color name it is, so we can easily define under this curly braces, okay, in selectors. Okay, now we have one a practical on the same thing which we have learned so far, and I would like Abdul Rahman to show the page which we are going to design today, and the same thing we apply each and every component on it, and then uh, he will take it forward. If there is anything which we need to clarify in mid of class, so I will jump in immediately. Okay, by the way, is there any question under this, up till now, the theory which we cover? Because I'm going to share you this slide as well separately, so you can easily learn at your home. And if you have any query, any question at your home, so you can easily ask me through WhatsApp. Okay. Okay, Abdul Rahman, I'm giving you rights to.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Can everyone hear me? Okay, you can hear me. Okay, so today we're going to make a very simple website that I made, just to just to make everyone understand. So I made this website in just some time, and today we're going to be making this. This website covers all the class 1 and the class 2. So inshallah, if there's any doubts, I'll find out and I'll recap, just like a recap of class 1 and class 2. So you guys can see this website I made. Uh, you can see this website I make right now. It has links right now, like what is this live. It has links about that, and then you can do links over there. There's also, I added this link over here, which if I open, it will open in the another tab, and it will open a book. So it's like book, full book. Let's see, the book now. And there's also this one, back to top. So this is a very simple website. We're going to be making this. So let me just open a new folder so we can start. So I make a new folder here in the desktop.
So basically, what Abdul Rahman will do, he will create the same web page from scratch in order for you to get understanding. If there is any clarification you need, so we can clarify over here.
See, I'm opening a new folder. I kept it here. one. When I add a new file, so we start by writing the file, okay, HTML, okay. This is what we had done so many times, and we're going to start by writing. Remember the trick I told you? You press Shift and 1, and then you start this. So you already know this, everyone. So this is the basic thing, right? This is what we covered in the first class, right? So now I'm going to give this a title right now. Let's say this is life. And then we're going to start by writing. You can see right now what I'm going to write right now is going to be this one. So this thing over here, you know, this one. This is the main thing right over here. The header. So how we're going to write this? So let's say this. I'm going to write head 1 tag. I'm going to start by writing H1 because H1 is usually used for the headings, you know. So we're gonna write live, okay. And after we did that, now the header is finished, right? So now
Yeah.
I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna show you what we have so far right now. This one, okay. We have this one, and we have to make this into this, okay. So we got the header. It's always a good sign. Now, okay. So now I have to add another tag. We're gonna start by writing now. What we're gonna make is this thing over here. We're gonna start by making this thing. This thing. You see all this? We're gonna start by making this. This is very easy stuff. You already know this. So I'm just gonna do this quickly. So I make a h1 tag again. Let me just make a space because you know. Right. Say this and p tag. You know. So just to make it, you know, very quickly, I'm gonna just copy the p tag from here.
Um,
Okay, we're watching this. So you can see right now, I added another p tag, and I want to add two more. So now, just to make it even better for you understanding, so I'll try to make this smaller so it's better for you. So I'll just do this. Yeah, just so you guys can understand. This is a big passage right now. Make it smaller. It's a very big passage. Okay, so I think that should be small enough so for your understanding. So this is the paragraph one, you know, this is ready now. And if I go back here again, and if I refresh it, it will come. So good, see, looks the same right now. This one comes here, so right now. So that looks good, right? You want to say something?
Okay,
Okay,
what
what
Abdul
Abdul
Rahman
Rahman
have
have
explained
explained
it
it
here.
here.
So
So
see,
see,
he
he
defined
defined
big
big
paragraph
paragraph
under
under
the
the
p
P
tag.
tag.
Okay,
Okay,
but
but
if you
if you
will
will
see
see
in the
in the
coding,
coding,
it
it
is
is
not in
not in
order.
order.
But
But
once you
once you
will
will
see
see
in
in
HTML,
HTML,
HTML is
HTML is
automatically
automatically
make
make
you
you
in
in
readable
readable
format.
format.
See,
See,
it
it
is
is
already
already
indented,
indented,
and
and
everything
everything
you
you
can
can
easily
easily
read.
read.
It
It
will
will
show
show you
as a
as a
paragraph.
paragraph.
Why
Why
it
it
show
show
you
you
as a
as a
paragraph?
paragraph?
Because
Because
you
you
have
have
defined
defined
under
under
P.
P.
P
P
means
means
paragraph.
paragraph.
P
P
tag,
tag,
so
so
it
it
automatically
automatically
align
align
each
each
and
and
every
every
word.
word.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Abdurrahman, go ahead.
Okay. Now we need the same thing, so I'm just gonna copy this. This is like the same thing, but I'm gonna just copy from here. So uh, this one is the same tag, you see. Now the second topic is we're gonna grab the second topic. I'm doing this just because I want to make this quickly, otherwise writing would take so long. And a p tag. Oops. Control V. And I want one more, so just one more tag, and then we're gonna start. And you're gonna make the p tag. Same thing what I just did right now. Just copying like 3 times. Okay, so now if I just save it, you see it automatically comes. It already looks very beautiful. And all I did was just add some p tags and h1 tags. P is for paragraph, like we learned in the first class, and h1 is the header. And if I want to do this, I can also change h2, make it h2. If I do that, then what's going to happen. It's going to become smaller, and it goes till h6. So h1, h2, h3. It will go on like till h6. So I wanted h1. I want the biggest one. The biggest one is the h1. So yeah, it's h1 right now. You can see right now. I've done this right now. So now it looks like this. It looks like this right now. Okay. So now I want this tags over here right now. What is this? Uh, should we style first, or should I add the thing now, or should I style it?
Okay, up till now, Abdurrahman have done HTML work. He did not apply any kind of CSS. CSS means he has to apply his favorite font color, font size, font name. So each and everything he is going to apply now. So he is going to apply CSS after completion of all HTML work.
Okay. So now I'm gonna add this href tags right now, like I told you. I'm gonna add now this nav bar right now. You see this one? This nav bar here. You see this nav bar here, which takes you everywhere. I'm gonna add this nav bar here. And the best way to add this nav bar, I'm not gonna define it as a p or an h1 tag. We're gonna define it as the tag, the href tag, because that tag helps us to link with other things. I'm just gonna.
By the way, explain me. Let me explain you about the nav bar. Nav bar is the thing is navigation bar. It should be available on your top of your website. You usually called as menu bar. Okay, it will come as a navigation bar. So it will be covering under your style sheet.
See, works like this. So now I'm gonna add href, and I'm gonna remember when I taught you href, I told you what you have to do. Let me just define this right now, then I'm gonna tell you something. So now I need 3 href because the 3 tags, right? So 3 paragraphs, right? That's why I need 3 3 of them. So uh, sure. Okay, so you can see defined it as just make it exactly the same. So you can, yeah, guys can see right now I did this right now. I'm gonna save this and look at what's gonna happen right now. So when I save it, if I come here, see, this is what's gonna happen right now. And if I click on it, nothing's gonna happen. You know why this nothing's gonna happen? It's because I never linked it to anything. It's because I never linked anything. So how do I link? Right now you may be asking. So there's nothing to link with it, and the only thing that can link with it is the ID. So what do I want to link? So for example, I want to link live right now. So I want to link live. So in this, I want to link this over here live with this. So what do? I give this an ID. I give this an ID because I want to link this thing with this. So I give it an ID, and I tell the IDs, say the ID is going to be this one. So just for better understanding, I'm gonna just do this. So I do this, okay? So this tells that I want to link with this. So right now, how do I tell this thing, hey href, I want link with this ID? So to do that, if I write like this, right now, if I just write like this, is it gonna work? If I write like this, let's just see if it works or not. Okay, so let's just see if it works. So I just reload it and let's just see if it works. It's not working. You see, it's not working. What is it saying? It's saying your file was not found. So there must be a problem, right? What did I do wrong? So the problem is I had to write hashtag. You see, I have to write hashtag. Hashtag is something which tells it, hey, find this file. So if I don't write this, this is going to lose its path and it's going to go somewhere else. So this is the thing which guides it and tells it there's a path. So you can, this is a path, and you can combine with that. And after you do that, right now, if I just save it, you see it works like that. Isn't that easy? So let me just recap everything. So I made a href, I made an ID, and if I want to, maybe I want to do it again. I want to combine this ID again. So I'll just say ID, and I say this one. I want to link this with this, and now I say hashtag, which means it wants to, it will guide it, and I want to guide it there. Where do you want to get it? I want to guide it here. So I hope that's understanding, and let's just do one more. I'm gonna say ID, and I'm gonna take this one. You can also change it if you want. I'm just choosing this because it's more easier to navigate there. So yeah, you do this. So now it has an ID, right? It has a name. So I'm telling is this thing, hey, I want you to go to him. But if I just write like this, it's not gonna know where to go because it doesn't know. So it has no one to guide it. So for the guiding thing, you have to put this hashtag. So you can see when I do that, and if I save it, you see all of this works. Well, this one works, right? Great. And you see this works. Okay. So is there any doubt right now with this? Because I added h1, a p tag, and an href. You want to say something?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. If you remember in our last class, uh, we have explained if you wanted to go from top, bottom, bottom to top. So this is a similar thing. Okay, if you wanted to go from top to bottom or bottom to top, or if you wanted to browse any page within the page, so you can apply that method. Also, if you wanted to browse any new page, for example, uh, we have explained you about the live.html. There will be another page, body.html. So you can easily link that page as well, which will define in our later classes. Okay, so up till now we are doing only HTML. There is only HTML coding, there is only HTML programming. We have not applied anything related to the CSS. Okay, okay,
Okay,
Abdurrahman.
so now we start the CSS. So for writing the CSS, you just write here, I'm gonna give it the topic live CSS, and this is how you start. Okay, you
Okay,
automatically write.
let me explain this part as well. For example, up till now, in till last class, we have explained you how to apply styling within HTML. Now we are going to create a separate file with the name of .css. For HTML, we are using extension .html hypertext markup language. For CSS cascade styling sheet, we use the file name .css. Means system will automatically understand this is cascade styling sheet, and if we need to pick up something, some standard, so we can easily define in within our HTML file.
Okay, so right now, how do I link this now? Now my question is, how do I link this? So first of all, I need to give class name. It's very important, because you can't just like write over here like this. You can't just do this. You can't do this. You can't just go here, you just say this and you do that, and then you just do do this style. This is never gonna work. This is not how you do this. So what do? You give a class. What do? You give a name. So this thing doesn't have a name. I have to give it a name. So how do I give it a name? I just write class. Class is something which gives a name. So what is live is a header, as you can see. This is live. Oh, one minute. We're not going to define this right now. We're going to define the live thing. We're going to define this thing, because this is the header. So I'm going to give it a class, and the class is I'm going to name it. You can name it anything. You can name it header. You can name it anything you want. All you have to do is just remember. So now, see, it's named. So now this thing has a name. So if everyone can recognize this thing as a name. Right now, the p tag, it doesn't have a name. So even if like live CSS, it cannot recognize it. But class h1, this live with live, it has a name. It has the name header. So I gave it the name header. So right now, first of all, before beginning this, I'll just say first header. Now you can see, now it recognizes it. See, it recognizes it. And if I say, let me just, I want to align it to align item. I want to align it, align text, aligned text. Right now I want to align it. Okay, so I'm gonna say align item, so center. Text. Okay, so right now, what I just did right now, I gave it a header. I gave this thing a name. So now this thing has a name. This thing over here, this thing has a name now. And I just said, hey, I'm giving you the name, and I just want you to align this thing to the center. That easy. Okay, now let's just check if it works, right? So now if I do, oh no, it doesn't work. So now what's the problem here? Well, the big problem is they don't know each other. Live.html and live.css, they don't know each other. They're in other world. Like this thing is in Pakistan and this thing is China. So you have to link them together. It's like that. You need to make them meet together. So how do you make them meet again? So you use a tag called link. What do we do? All we do is link. We say to it link. Well, style sheet. We say link to the style sheet. This is the style sheet. We link to the style sheet of the name. What's the name of this thing? I'm gonna say the name of the thing is, now it's automatically gonna come. Now now after it's coming, it's automatically gonna come. Let me just I forgot to. I just said right. Okay. Now you see it's gonna automatically come. Like I write now live. See, it automatically comes. After what am I saying right now? So this is technically a style sheet. Whatever we're doing here, this is a style sheet. CSS and style sheet is the same thing, but I'm just saying link rel style sheet. So all you have to write is link rel, which means like link it to the style sheet, and now it has become a style sheet. And I'm gonna say the name. Now it has a name, right? Live.css, and it automatically knows now. So now if I save this, and if I go there, it should work. I think I wrote the align item. It should be align. I think it should be align. Oh, okay. I forgot. It's not align text. It's text align. I'm sorry. It was text align. Even I make mistakes, but you learn. So it's text align. This is a very easy thing, and I say center. So right now for the items, what I chose before, it was for items, but I want to text align it, so I'm choosing it center. So now if I go back, if I do this, then I link it. Oh yes, there should be a dot. Okay, so I forgot to do I forgot to do something very small. Whenever there's a link, whenever there's a class, right? So class works with header. For example, if I wouldn't have defined it, what if like I didn't want to do, what if I didn't have given like the name to it, like this one. I'll show you. If I wouldn't have given the name to this thing, and then I would have written h1 one, then it would have worked. Then it would have worked right now. The thing is, I forgot to do some. See, now it worked. But the problem is when I give h1, it always moves. It moves all of these things. So that's why I'm giving a particular class name to this thing. So I'm giving a particular class name to this thing. So because right now everything is called h1. Everyone has the same name right now. You can see here, everyone has the same name. And while you're writing h1, you have to only write h1. So I forgot that. But when you're giving a class, like right now I'm giving a class, you have to write class, and you have to write dot, because it comes with a dot. So I'm just saying to it dot header. You see dot header, and it's gonna come, because class, whenever you define a class, you have to always put a dot behind it, and I forgot that. So now let's just see, will it work? Yes, see, voila, it works. Now that thing is out of the way. Now we can style this thing. Now how do we style this? So now I hope everyone understood that. So is anything doubt over here? You understood the linking thing? You want to say anything? You want to say? No? Okay. Now, right now, there's one more thing. The thing right now is, I don't like this background. I don't like this white background. I don't like it at all. So remember, this is the body tag where we could choose, change the color. Now we can add this here. We can add this here. It's better to add it, here. I'm gonna say body, and for that I don't have to add the dot. You know why? Because this has a particular name and I didn't give it a class. If I would have given a class like this, then I would have had to add the dot, but right now I don't have to, because it doesn't have a body. It doesn't have the class. So right now I'm gonna give it like a background color. So for that, I have an image for that. I'm gonna go here. Okay, so I have the image over here. You can get the image from wherever you want. So I have an image. I want this image. So I'll just Control C and I'll add it to my file. By the way, if you want to know where I get these image, I can show you. It's a very good website. And yeah, before I add the image, you can either add the image like this. You can either add the image like this, like here, like right now. It's automatically gonna come here. You see, this image has come here. But either you can do that or you can make a folder. Maybe you have 10 images, and for 10 images you can add a folder like this. So you can make a folder. Right now I'm making a folder. Wait, I'll make it here. So right now I can make a folder. I'm gonna say images, and then you can make a folder, and then you can add inside here. you know it's your wish if you want to do that, but you can add it here. you know so now that has we had added a new folder with images on it. Is that okay? Now we just added a new folder with images. Okay, so now I'm gonna say to the body, hey, I want a background image. So I'm gonna say background image. You can see it comes here automatically. What I love about it. So now either I could have like done a background image like that, but now I have to write URL because I have to define it, because now it's inside the folder, right? So I have to define it right now. So right now I'm gonna say the name of it. It's not gonna work. Look at this. Right here, images. It's not gonna work. The image I want. What's the name of the image I want? It's called image-3.jpg. Images. It's called image-3.jpg. It's not gonna work. You know why it's not gonna work? I'm gonna tell you. So if I save it, it's not, the image is not there, right? So why it doesn't work? It's because I added in the folder, right? I added this thing in the folder. If it would have gone outside the folder, right now I'm going to show you. If this image would have gone outside the folder, then it would have read it. Then it would have understood it. Then it would have come. So now if it would have went outside, see now you can see it would have gone outside. If I put it outside, it automatically comes. But I kept it inside the folder. So you can see right now. See, I kept it outside and it comes. The images comes. It's the images come. So that the one I want. But right now, what's the problem? I kept it inside the folder. So let me just delete this. So what do I do for that?
Abdurrahman, better you can select any other image, because on a screen it's very dark. So better you can.
I'll make the font for that light.
Okay.
Because
Fine.
I want to teach them.
Okay, fine.
So now you can see what I did right now. I just gave her URL, and if I just write image, it's gonna tell me. She already told me, before when I was doing something wrong, it already told me, hey, the image is inside the folder. So I'm gonna choose the images folder. How do I do that? I'm just gonna specify the images folder. Images folder, the name of it, it's images. So I'm gonna just write images. It automatically comes. And now if I press enter, it's gonna take me there. So if I press this OK, also press this OK. If I come here, you see it works. It works. See, it works. The images works. Same thing like this. But now it's gonna work. See, we're coming so close, right? It's such an easy project. We're coming so close. But now, this is the part that that we were I used to copy and paste. So this is what happens whenever you put an image, right? Whenever I put the image, so what it does, it like duplicates. It doesn't come clear, because I want the full image. This image that I have right now, it looks like this. You see, it looks like this. Right now, it's coming half of it. You see, right now it looks like this. It has some. Let me show you. Image I have right now, it looks like this. But right now in the browser, it looks like this. So it's not coming fully. So for that, we use a short code. We use a short code for that. And that code is, this is what the code is. This is a WebKit code. So I use this code, you don't have to learn these things, So I just grabbed it from the Google, because I just searched in Google, I want to cover my image. So how should I cover my image? So I grabbed a code from there, which was this one. So you can copy my paste. You can copy my code when you're making this website. You're okay with that. So you don't have to learn this stuff. So even if I want to cover my image, you just write in the Google, hey Google, I want to copy, like, cover my image in HTML. What do I do? So there's so many codes there. So I grabbed one code over here and I paste it here. So when I do that, you see now it comes properly. It comes very properly. Images comes very properly. You see now. So now we have finished with the body right now. We love the body. I love the color. I love everything about it. It's coming beautifully. Now the time is for this thing. I want to define the header. So for a header, what did I do right now? I did some things from here. First of all, I chose the color white over here. I did that. I chose the color white. You can see I chose the color white, so it comes here. If I just write here color, let me just write it for you. I want to choose the color white. This is like the easy stuff. You guys know this, yeah. So maybe I just white smoking. I choose the color, okay. And now there was other things. Choose the color, and then also the font weight and the font size. So let me just give it the font weight. This one, 600, and this one. This is all this thing you're gonna do by yourself. So I'm just copying from my code because this is what I did by myself. It's your decision. Designing in CSS is all your decision. If you want the weight to be 600 or you want the font size to be 3 rem. 3 rem is also something, and you can also use 3 pixels, but I use 3 rem. So I hope this is clear for you right now, right?
By the
By the
way,
way,
by the
by the
end of
end
the
of the
class,
class,
you
you
will
will
have
have
all
all
these
these
files
files
with
with
you,
you, yeah,
including
including
image,
image,
HTML file,
HTML
and
file, and
CSS,
CSS,
along with
along
the
with the
presentation
presentation
and
and
recording of
recording
this
of this
class
class
as
as
well.
well.
So you
So
will
you
have
will have
all
all
these
these
files
files
after
after
immediate
immediate
after
after
this
this.
class.
Okay, so now you can see right now I will save it, and you see it comes like this. Now there's a problem. I don't like this font. So I don't like this font at all. And the problem is HTML only gives you like 5 options for the fonts, and neither of them I like it. So where do I get the fonts from? Well, that's a good question, right? So where do I get the fonts from? Like right now I got this font over here. You can see I got this good font here. Like, I love this font. So how do I get the font? As you can see in my all I do is in the Google, we search here Google fonts, something called Google Fonts, and if you search that, it's gonna give you Google Fonts. Now, if I search that, now what code? Which one did I choose? So my was so my font was this one. So I'll choose it. Either you can write here, maybe I'll write it live. I want something to look good with it, and you can choose fonts here. You can choose which one you love to have it. Right now I chose Noto. I think it's Noto. This is the one. You see, this is the one I want. Other options, but this is the one I want. So just grab this, and now it gives you option now here. So it's a very good website, for designed by Google. So I want to select one. So now you select this side, okay? That's all you do, and now it automatically comes this thing. This thing comes here, and now it tells you that you selected this side. So how do I import this style? How do I make this style go in the CSS, right? So all you do is go embed, and you click on import. So it automatically knows. So when you do that, you do this, Control C. If I come here, and all I have to do is import it here, and that's all. All you have to do is you just have to import things, right? Like I import it, now you have to import it, and now it gives me this one. So if I just copy this, and if I go here, and you see right now, look at this. Voila! Look at this. You like it? See, easy. Is there any doubts about this now? If anyone has it, please tell me. So this is a very good website. I mostly choose my fonts from here. So yeah. So let me just show you again what I did. So now the file live thing is done. We have done the live thing. Now what is left is what is live. This thing is here and this thing over here. Okay. Now these things are left. Now we want to change this. So the thing is, I want to style them, same. Like here you can see all of them are same. All of them are same. So what I'll do is, instead of defining one tag, I'll define all of them the same thing. So how will I do that? I go here. Instead of giving them, a class of, I'm gonna give them the same class. I'm gonna say h1. So I'm gonna say class h1. Either you can, right now I'm not defining everything, so I'm gonna give
Here,
it a
here
class.
is here is one question. One student has asked, what is the difference between font weight and font size?
Yes, let me tell you.
Okay,
Right.
font weight basically is defining the thickness of the font. Okay, thickness of any characters, outlines related to their height and width. Uh, since this font size will determine you exact the size of your font, the standard font. Every font have some standard. For example, if you choose Arial, Arial 8, Arial 8 has a standard size. Arial 10 has standard size. So this is the standardization of a specific only font name, and the weight is the thickness of the font.
Okay, is that okay with you? And if you go for font size, I want it 10 or something. And if I just refresh it, see it automatically changes. Now that's too big now. I don't want that. So yeah, you see, now that's the difference. So what I was back to the thing, and right now I want to do some same thing over here, same style for here, same file style for here, same file here. For right now, I could have done, I could have wrote here h1 here and h1 and h1b. But the problem with that is going to be that, okay, the problem with that right now is that if I want to add other things, maybe I want to add other p tags. So that's that. If I like put gray here, if I write p over there, and if I put gray font over there. So now if I just want to write, another thing, a p tag, which I want to design by myself, now I couldn't do that because, it will also become, it will also become gray. So the better way is, you give a class, give a name that you want to change. So I'm going to give this a name h1, and I'm going to copy in on the h1. So h1, h1, and h1. Okay, that's about it. And I want to also do the p tag, right? So we're gonna class name this as p. Okay, that's a very easy name. And p tag, give it a class and give it a class. Okay, and now if I come here, okay, if I come here and if I just defined it as h1, that's wrong, right? It's already wrong. You have to write h1 because, I already told you guys, if you add a class, you have to add it on. That's how it works. You can't change it. Okay, so now I'm gonna copy the style again. Same thing right over here. What I did in my project, I gave a particular class to, all the things right now you can see here. What I did was a big mistake because, I gave a particular class, right now I only give h1, right? But right now in my like previous project, I gave a particular class. Like you can see for h1, I gave life one, like particular, tags. And with that, I faced a lot of problems. I had to write everything all over again. It became a very big messy thing. So I learned from my mistake, and I, instead of writing all that stuff, I mashed up all the h1s together. And like right now, I was not mashing up all the h1 together. I kept them separate. So right now what I did, I just, mashed them all together because they particularly the same thing, with the same thing, it's the same thing. So I'll just copy this right now here, and also for the p tag, You have to write dot p. Remember that. Don't forget that. And I'm just gonna say here p. And now the problem right now is I have two new fonts here, right? I have two new fonts here. I didn't, name it. I did not name them or anything because I didn't import from here. So what's gonna happen is this is not gonna work. The colors are gonna work. The colors for this thing is gonna work, but the font size is gonna stay the same. You see? I think it's because I added the font in this thing. That's why. But if I remove it in here, if I remove this font over here, it will not work because I have import the like the import I have already imported in this thing. So whenever I'm going in new project or any project, if I import it from Google, it's already gonna be imported. So what I'm trying to say is that when you open this file over here, when you open this browser has gives you only 10 fonts. But when I add something, when I import it from Google, I give it to it, it adds here. So now if even if I don't add it here, and if I use this, it's still gonna come. So that's the thing. See, it still came. Even though I didn't add it there, it still came. Okay. See, so I have to add it right now. So I'm gonna import it from here. I think I made a mistake. I'm sorry. Sorry. I explained you the wrong thing. It doesn't add on there. You have to add a new file. So see, I just copied from here. So I go to this thing again. I'm gonna search for the style I want. It is called Balmu. So here, if I write here Balmu, see, yeah, this one. See, it already comes. This one. See, it comes here. So I already have imported from here, so I don't need to do it again. It's gonna take some time, but you understand what I'm trying to say. I'll do it for you guys. I'll select this style. I'll just select this style. Which style do I want? I want this one. And I'll just delete this one. I don't want this one. I'll do this. Embed, and I want to import it. If I import it here, oh, I did a mistake. I mistake to look got rid of that tag. So yeah, sorry. Okay, I can import it. So now the browser knows I want this font, particular font, and whenever I write this, so now it also gives me this thing. You can write it here. If I write it here again, font family, over here, it's gonna come. See, it's going to come here. See, it come here. This is the font I wanted, and it came here. So now what I do, I want to change this font also, the Roboto. I want to have it this one. I want to have it this one. So just get rid of that. So what's the name of the font? I just write it here. I write it here. Roboto Mono. So this is what I want. Select it here. Select the one I want. There's so many options, extra light, but I'll choose the regular one. I'll choose the regular. So yeah, I want to get rid of this one. I want this one. I'll just import it. Like that, you can import it. See? Oh, no, not here. Sorry for that. Here, and you import it here. Okay, now I can just choose the style. Comes here, choose it, and I can press it. Now, if I come here, here, okay. So over here, you see, it works. See, it looks the same, right? Looks good. It looks very good. I love it. Amazing. Okay, so now we are done with this. We're done with this. We're done with this. So now about this thing, because right now this thing works. We did this, Now I want to do something else. Now there's some things I want to add. So now what's the next topic? We're gonna add this nav bar. I want to design it. I want to design the nav bar. We're gonna introduce a new thing to you. It's called padding. So you see, like in my thing over here, it's over here, right? So I don't want it to be here. I don't want it to be here. So what do I do? Let me give it a class. Remember we taught you, right? We can give class to href. I think we didn't teach you, but you can give class to the href. Give it a class. I'm gonna say just give it a class. Okay. Give it a class. B and class C. Okay, so now it defines, now it's all defined. The reason I'm like not giving them the equal, because they could be equal. The thing is, because while you're moving the stuff, right, you have to have the particular length. For example, if you want to move it here, you have to say 10 rem, and if I want to move it here, I have to say 20 rem. So it's not going to work like that. So that's why I'm giving it different things. So now that's out of the way. We can save this, and it's going to work. Now we put a dot, and yeah. So what do I want to define quickly? I want to define this thing over here. Over here, this one. So I have a code for that also, and I'm going to explain the code for you. So let me just paste the code. And I made another mistake. I made another mistake from my last step. Instead of writing in the CSS, I wrote it here, but it's fine because I wanted to do it a little bit quickly, so I just do this one. This one. I'm gonna paste it here. Okay. See, it works. I'm gonna explain you what is all of this. Okay, don't worry. Okay. So right now we already know what's this, right? What we already know what's font weight, and I already taught you what's the font family, right? Right now I just taught you right now. So instead of having a new one, I was too lazy to get it, so I just copy the thing over here, copy the same font and paste it here because it looks good and I'm okay with that. And I have the color. So now these two things are different for you right now, right? So what is this thing? And if I get rid of this now, let me tell you what is. If I save it and if I do this, so you can see right now. Just gonna remove this right. And remember, whenever you want to remove something, you just put slash star, and you can close it back with star. This means is like it becomes invisible. The code doesn't recognize it. It is for this thing is used when you have a very big code. When you have a very big code and you want to tell other developers what are the things. For example, you're developing some app. So you can, for the header, for the coders to understand, you can write their heading. You can write your heading. Maybe you want to write here a heading, something like that.
Basically this one is something which you wanted to remarks, you wanted to put some notes on it. For example, you wanted to define your code for other developer to understand, so you can put some note within your coding, and within your coding you can specify through slash static and static slash. Between this line, whatever you write, it will be marked as hidden for the in the programming language term, and it will be helping other developer to understand what is this all code about. And for example, Abdul Rahman has remarking this one, just in order to understand, for you to to see what is impact on padding left, without padding left and with padding left. So right now it is system is not recognizing this padding left because he already put a remark on it, means system is not understanding, system will not reading padding left. So he will let you know what is impact of without padding left and with padding left now.
So right now you can see, right, I kept color, font weight, and font family that everyone knows. I hope everyone knows. Okay. So this is easy right now. So now, okay. So now you can see what it did. What it did was, instead of changing that, so it just gave it a little bit of font weight. It gave a font weight a little bit, and then it gave it a font family of this one, and then it gave it a color. See, it gave it a color. So now what does a text decoration does? Let me tell you what is it. You see this annoying line over? I don't like it at all. It looks very bad. It makes my website ugly. So how do I get rid of it, right? The only way to get rid of it is you define text decoration. That means text decoration. So text decoration, what does it mean? It means that, let me just write it quickly and then I'll tell you what it means. Okay. So what does a text decoration mean? So whenever you have a text, sometimes with HTML it comes with a decoration. So that's what it calls text decoration. For when we were learning about UL and OL text, remember that we had some bulletin points. We had points, and that was a decoration. That points that we got was a decoration from HTML, and this line is a decoration from the HTML. So what can I do to get rid of it? You can just say none, and if I do that, voila! You look at that, it's gone. I have to make it to everything. So instead of I make it with B. And remember, what is this? This is A, this is B, and this is C. Okay, we have B, and then we have dot C. Okay, now I'm gonna just copy this off here. Control C, Control V, and do this again. You see right now, and it all became like that, equal. Right now, time to make them go a little bit there, because I want them to go there, because navigation is technically there sometimes. So I want to make it go there. So how do I do that? So now padding would be a little bit confusing for you right now. So instead of taking this pad, let me just tell you what is pad. Okay, and we're gonna do with the C tag. This one over here, I'm gonna teach you what it is. Okay, I'm gonna say padding. Okay, I'm gonna say padding. And where do I want to go? I want to go right, right? So I'm gonna say padding right. So it should work, right? I'm gonna say just to you guys all understand rem, right? Is it okay if I use rem, right? Because rem, what is rem is like, pixel is, you have little pixels in your screen, you see that. So rem is like 10 10 10 10 10 10 multiplied by like 10 pixel altogether combines a rem. So that's why I use a rem, because it's much easier to write. So that's why I'm going to use rem. So what does it do? It's going to, instead of going there, it's not going to work, you see. See, it's not going to work. You know why? It's not working because the meaning of padding is because padding, whenever you say right, the padding means left. But whenever you say right, it means you have to go left. So let me tell you what I meant. It's kind of confusing to explain you guys, but you would have said that, then it would have gone there. So you understand what I'm trying to say? Padding is not about this stuff. This is not about this stuff. It's about this stuff. It's like pushing. It's like pushing. So padding is left. It's all about pushing. So if I want to push it more, you don't write right. If you write right, then it's gonna come like this. See? If I write right here, that means I want to push the right. So if I do this again, see, it's going pushed over there. Now I want to say left. I want to go left because I want to go left. It must be it may be a little bit confusing, because when we're saying when we're saying left, you mean you when you're saying right, you mean the text to go to right. But that's not what I'm going to do. It's going to do opposite. So if you understand that, it's very good. So just in just short words, whenever you're left, it means right, and whenever I write right, then that means it's gonna go left. Okay, is that fine for everyone? Okay, so let me just push it over there. So let me just do 50. 50 is gonna be good. Okay, 50 is good, huh? Okay, 60. It's gonna go 60, a bit more. I mean, why not? Oops, bit too much. And no, not perfect. Uh, maybe 65. 65. Let's do 65. And yeah, that's pretty much. What did I do for the last one? That's pretty much good right now. For the last one, I did 64. 64M. Okay, so it's fine. We're gonna remove that, so you can see right now. See, I've graded it, and now it looks good. A little bit more, I guess. Like 57, 54, just a little bit right, and yeah, that's perfect. Okay, now we did the C thing. Now I want now this one, the B. We have 15 minutes. So let me just do this quickly. So, 50. No, no. Okay, so there's a problem without doing that because I told you when you're pushing there must be have a problem.
Let it let it give it assignment to everyone. They have to align it. How they will, they have to identify the problem within your code, and they will make it justification on this padding. And if there is any problem, we will help them out by Wednesday. Okay, Abdurrahman?
What difference? So we're done with the website now. Uh, now it works because I copied the paste over there. So you can see now it works. Okay. Interesting question. Go right there.
Yes.
Important.
Yes, Avantika, you have some question?
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
Should I tell the last thing? There's some error. Okay. So now you guys can see, I made the full copy of this website, and now my assignment for you guys is that I left out some stuff like this one here. So read my book on life like this one. It's very easy. So this my assignment is you have to make this. You have to implement that on your website. So back to top feature, it's very useful. You have to implement that in your website, and I'm looking forward for next time from next class. I want to see what you guys do. Okay. So should we wrap it up?
Okay, thank you, Abdurrahman. You have explained it very well. Okay, let us continue for the assignment side. Okay, can you please share your
Okay.
presentation?
Make you the host.
Just go to the last slide for the assignment.
Okay. Okay, this is the assignment.
Okay, immediate after this class, I'm going to share you the complete presentation, the both the codes, CSS and HTML, and also the recording of this class. So you have to review each and everything, and you have to make the same website at your end, but you should not make a copy. You should, adopt all the themes, all the text and other things. You should, implement your own website themes, background color, font size, font color. Now you know how to pick up the fonts from Google, uh, and how to implement in your website. So you can, this is up to how you can implement your themes and color on your website and web page. Okay, so now there is open answer question session. So please raise your question, and we are here to answer you anything. Yes, please, Sidra, you are asking something.
No, sorry.
Okay, Ali, is there any question from your side? Avantika, you understand each and everything? Is there any problem? Is there any confusion?
Understand everything.
You understand. So we are very happy with each of our student. They are submitting assignment on time, and the way we are, clarify things on the class. They have, fulfilling all the thing and on their assignment, and we are observing them. If there is any problem, we are conducting one to one session with them. And if you guys have any problem, you can you can also, send us WhatsApp. So inshallah, if there is any confusion, we will clarify you. Okay, Ali have some mic problem, but he said he already understand everything. Okay, Ryan, we have not hear anything from your side. Can you please say something? Did you understand each and everything? If there is anything which we can clarify for you. Ryan, can you hear us?
No.
Okay, you understand each and everything. Is there anything which you wanted to clarify? Okay, so we wrap up our session here, and we foresee to receive your assignment by Tuesday, and inshallah we will having next session on next Friday. Okay, see you everyone. Assalamu alaikum.